Hey guys, it's Kelsey. I'm back with another scrapbooking process video. So this is kind of a companion page to the Groundhog Day layout that I did on the 2nd. It's another photo of Marcus and I walking on the train tracks in our downtown area of our hometown. And I just wanted to trim it down and kind of have a smaller photo to play with. I really love with P13 having smaller photos and just doing a lot of layers around them. So it's something I really want to focus on. This page, I really like the airiness that a lot of P13 projects have, even though they are very layered. So I found that the key to that is having a smaller photo. So even when you add a lot of layers, there's still a lot of empty space on the layout. And that's kind of the look I'm going for on this one. So I trimmed this photo down. I'm going to mat them in a couple scraps of the wood grain I had from the first layout I did. Again, I'm distressing the wood grain just to add that texture that I really like. And then we'll go in with some 49 and mark it. I really had a goal with this layout. The first layout I did, I really focused just on using the P13 products. This layout, I really want to try to pull a little bit of everything that I had in my layout share, my kit share in on this page. So I want to pull in a little bit of everything for the 49 and market. I want to pull in some of those Simple Stories chipboard. I just want to see how everything looks together, and I had a lot of fun with this one. This layout is a lot different than the layouts I've been doing recently. I feel especially last month, I kind of worked the same way, and a lot of my projects looked similar, which I'm not mad about. If it's my style and I enjoy doing it, that's all that matters to me. But I do sometimes, I'm like, you need to reach out of your box and just do something different. I don't like when too many of my layouts in a row look too similar. So this is just a really fun one for me to kind of work in a different way. So again, I'm going to pull in a layering piece from the 49 and market, and I'm going to gut that because I really like that book print, and I think I will use that scrap throughout the month for extra layering bits. But I love the kind of torn book look that that layer gives, so I'm going to use that as my next mat, and then I'm going to start building from there. I thought about adding a couple more pieces from the 49 market layering stuff. I thought about using this ticket, but I edit a little bit just to try to figure out what direction I want this layout to go in. I kind of know I want this photo with a lot of layers towards one side of the layout and to keep the rest of the page pretty open. I thought it would be nice with all of the cut aparts I have from this P13 kit to pull in a couple of the bigger floral pieces. So I'm going with a couple of the floral bundles here. I thought about creating kind of an L design. But when I decided to keep the layers a little bit more compact, I thought it would be better to go with more of a vertical layered look. That way I could kind of keep everything more to the left side of this page. So I like how those two layered clusters look on the top and bottom. There's kind of a bit of room between the wood grain frame and that book paper. So I'm going to add a couple layers behind the wood grain just to fill that in a little bit. So I'm going to use one of the tabs from the 49 market bundle. Again, I'm inking everything in brown ink just to give that vintagey look. And I really like that. I really like that. So I am going to gut the floral bits because they are tucked into the book paper. I thought it would be nice if I saved what was hidden so I can add it as more layers throughout the month. I'm trying to ink these bits as well just to give that that dingy kind of look for the vintage theme. But I love the way both of these floral clusters look on the top and the bottom. So I'm going to get those situated. I am going to gut behind these layers as well, which is why I'm not going to glue everything to the background just yet. I love this kind of orangey brown chevron background paper. It's probably one of my favorites in this collection, so if I can salvage a bit of it, I'm going to try. So the layers move around quite a bit until I finally decide how much I want to gut so I can start gluing things down. But I like how this is looking, and then I decide to go into one of the other things I pulled in for this month, which is these 49 and market black and gray film strips. I love these. These are so cool. Ronnie got me onto the film strip thing by sending me die cut film strips, and then I saw these that are kind of an acetate that looked more like actual film strips, and I thought it would be the coolest layer to include. I also like that it has that shiny look. It really looks like a film strip, so I think having that one element that's kind of shiny and not dingy mixed amongst all of these papery elements that are kind of antiqued, I think it's just a really unexpected cool layer, but it's still on theme. So I'm gonna have this film strip running up the left side of the page. I love it. Here are the pack of the cut aparts. They're not cut aparts. What are they? They're just like die cuts, like a mix and match die cuts from 49 in Market that I thought would also be really good for layering. There's a lot of blue, but I'm going to try to go towards the tan and the browns just to stick with the warmth of this layout. I really like how warm this layout feels with all the browns and kind of that orangey brown that is the background. So I'm going to go through and pull in a couple of the brown leafy bits. There's this kind of torn paper word thing that says "You are amazing" that I added to the tab, which I thought was a cute little layer to add. And here are the two brown leafy sprigs. So I'm going to really enjoy pulling from that as well. There's just so many good layering bits with everything that I think this month is just going to be so much fun with layering with all of this stuff. But I decided to have there are two tan leafy sprigs, so I decided to have them on opposite sides of my photo. So I'm going to have the smaller one coming up towards the top and the larger one kind of coming out to the side from the bottom, so they both kind of frame my photo. And again, I'm trying to ink those as well. I do glue them straight down to the background, but the one leaf that's coming out the farthest to the right, I do go back and add some foam to it, so there's a little bit of dimension. It was looking very flat otherwise. And when I have lots of paper layers, I really want you to be able to see that they're layers and they're separate pieces, so the dimension with the foam dots helps. So you'll see when I glue this down right now, it immediately goes very flat. I think it helps once I go back and add some foam. But I really like adding the leafy bits. I think that's a fun layer to add. So now I'm going to do that with the smaller one at the top, and then I'll kind of revisit embellishment. But I feel pretty good. I got the 49 Market mix and match layering bits. I got some of the cut apart floral pieces. I still want to try to work in some of the chipboard from the Stimple Stories pack that I included. But that has a lot of yellow in it. I don't know if I want to pull in yellow, so it takes me a minute to kind of figure that out. But I'm really loving, even now, like I'm loving how these layers are coming together. And now that I have a good bit of the layers, I'm going to go ahead and mark how much of the background's covered and gut the section that I can. I don't gut a huge section, but I really feel like I'm going to use even this little piece later this month because I just love this paper. So that's gutted. I will back the back of that with some black again and then glue down my layers. I really should just cut this part out of my process by now, but it really doesn't take me too long, so I'm like, oh, I don't know, might as well leave it in. So I'm going to back that, and then I'm going to ink the brown paper as well, which I think adds a kind of a vintagey look to any paper, which is nice. So since that's what I'm going for this month, I think that's a nice addition. And then I'll finally glue down my photos and kind of build out a little more. I definitely want to include the embroidery floss in my clusters again. I really liked doing that on my last page. I think embroidery floss bundles just look great with P13 in general. So I'm hoping I can do that a lot this month, but I wanted to wait until I could start gluing things to the background before I started fiddling with that. I'm trying to look for some bits and pieces from my cut aparts to use. I really like this butterfly. I thought would be a nice addition. It's very warm. It brings that orange in from the background. So I'm going to ink that and pop that up on some foam. And then I'm going to do a little thread bundle behind the butterfly, which I think is a nice little start to the embroidery floss bundles. So I'm just going to messily bundle up a little cluster I'm sticking one of the little tea bags in down there to form one little cluster, and then I'll use the butterfly for another cluster towards the top. But I think that looks really cute. There are a lot of like random type things on in this collection. There's a lot of tea type elements, and there's also a lot of wildlife, and I wanted to get another one of the animals on here, but I thought the scale of the animals would be too big with me trying to do all these smaller layers. So instead of using the animals, I decided to use the butterfly with one of the tea bags just to get a couple of the random things used up. And I'm really liking how this is looking. I'm kind of thinking the straight edge of that film strip is making the left side of my photo too clean. And I really want that vintagey, lots of layers look on this page all around. So I did take a scrap of a piece that I gutted from the first page and used a notebook edge punch to kind of give you that interesting edge. And I did ink that and tuck that into the left side behind the film strip. And I think that was like the perfect thing it needed to kind of give you that same look on that edge. And then now I'm just trying to figure out what else I want to layer. So I'm trying to figure out what I'm doing down there. I can't really see. I did find one more leafy sprig and popped it up on some foam just for another layer down there that kind of filled in one of the gaps I felt was drawing my eye. And now I'm going to finally go through the chipboard that I pulled in. So I really like the green pieces. I think are looking really nice. There's green in my photo. I've already used a couple green leafy sprigs, so I think the green goes really nice. So I'm going to pull in the Forever as my title. I really like how that looks underneath my photo. And then I'm trying to see what else I can do. I really like this little in the moment piece. And I really wanted to get some of the hearts used up. I really wanted to use another one of the butterflies, but I think with the elements I already included, it just started to look too busy once I added too much of this chipboard. But I think having the title along the bottom, the in the moment piece at the top with a couple of the hearts is a really good balance. So I cut out the bulk of when I backed the Forever in some foam. I wanted that to have some dimension, but that's going to get stuck to the bottom. And then this is where I decide to just leave the butterflies and go for more of the hearts. So I decided to use a green heart with kind of a more neutrally creamy heart together just to kind of give I like two hearts together normally, especially when it's a picture of me and Marcus. I think it's nice to have two hearts because like one's him and one's me. So I play around a little bit with where I want them, but in the end I decide to do one coming out from the larger leafy sprig and then up by the smaller leafy sprig, just so those hearts are also kind of framing the photo. I play a little bit with the in the moment piece. I can't decide if I like it with or without. I thought I would take it off for a little while, but in the end, I'm kind of like more is more when it comes to layers in these types of bits. So I decided to add it back on. I have so much embellishment to play with this month that I don't need to be frugal with it. So I decided to just go ahead and include it on there. I think I'm gluing down all of the hearts, and then I'm looking at the page and I'm really liking how it's looking. I love the airiness of it, but I just wanted a little something in the opposite corner just for some interest. I thought it was too open not having anything else anywhere else on the layout. So I just decided to use one of the leafy sprigs in the upper right hand corner with a couple of the word stickers. I hadn't used these sticker sheets yet on this page, so I wanted to get some of them used up. So I just pulled in one that says kiss me and one that says loving you is easy. And I'm going to pop both of the word stickers up on some foam and ink them. But for the base, I wanted to do another thread bundle, and then I glued the kind of leafy sprig over top of it. And then this is where I'm going in with the word stickers. So I feel like I did pretty good kind of pulling from all the little bits and pieces. I did not get one of the paper banners used up on here, but I'm really pleased with how the 49 Market stuff blended with the P13 stuff. So I just love how all these little layers look. So now I've inked the word stickers. I'm doing the foam. And then once I get this down, I'm kind of looking at it and I'm really wishing I did some white mixed media behind where my photo is. And I thought about that initially, but I was like, well, I don't know what my layers are going to look like yet, so I don't really want to mess up this beautiful background with mixed media when I don't have a plan. But now that everything's glued down, I really wanted some white mixed media coming out of the layers, and it's just too much work for me to try to pull up everything I've just stuck down, especially because some of it I stuck down with wet glue, which will definitely tear. So in lieu of white mixed media, I will go in with some white Nuvo drops as my finishing touch and just do a couple dots around all of the layers. I'm not going to do like 3 big dot clusters like I normally do. I just want to do a lot of little dots dotted around. I think it kind of looks magical a little bit. I also tried to get one of these circular stickers used up because I haven't used any of those yet, but I think I did good by getting 2 of the word stickers on. I just didn't see where I could add one of those circular bits and it not distract from what I already had going on. So I'm going in and dotting around with the white Nuvo drops, just for a little glimmer of white around the page, just for a little bit of what I wish I did. But in the end, I really like how this one turned out with all its little layers. I like how open it is with still having all of this fun stuff going on. And I feel like P13 would be proud. So here are the close-ups. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.